fraud and things that have been discovered with the Somalis in Minnesota, here in Texas, in the Dallas, Frisco, Allen area, Plano, certainly Plano, with all of these different people that have migrated here from such a long time ago. These people started coming in back in the late 90s to 2000s. And what I've discovered also by watching some videos on YouTube, that they only had a temporary protective status here as far as the Somalis. They were only supposed to be here temporarily. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. So I'm told that Trump is actually getting ready to overturn that and send them back to their country, because their country is good enough for them to go ahead and go back. But I also want to acknowledge as well is the fact that all of this money has been discovered that they have been sending over to Somali, to Dubai, to all of these other countries. It's cash, it's cold hard cash. That's our money. It's the United States money. It's the taxpayers' money. It's our money that's been sent to these other countries. And this makes me really upset, because I know how hard it's been for Americans that have been struggling financially. And even the ones that haven't been struggling financially, it seemed like over the past 5 to 6, 7 years, they have been pitting us against each other, and the wickedness has uprisen. It is just so strong right now. And I mentioned before, when these people come over from other countries, they bring their God, and they bring the worship of their God, and their God is just another form of Satan. You understand? Because God is the only wise God. The Most High God is the only wise God, and every other God is stupid. Because if you're not a wise God, then obviously you're unwise. You're a fool. They've been bringing their gods over here, and I told you all that it corrupts a nation of people. Do you understand? When they are praising and worshiping and doing these things in the street, playing their music and doing those weird sounds, and outside praying and doing all these declarations for their God, they are conjuring is what they're doing. And the Bible says that evil communications corrupt good manners. It literally corrupts a nation when they're just in your presence. See, in the Old Testament, they actually used to drive the wickedness out of Israel when someone did something wrong. Not just something wrong, but when it was wicked, they drove them out, or they got rid of them. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm noticing is now is that everyone, especially here in America, I'm not sure how it feels around the other parts of the world. I don't know how they feel, but I know here at home in America, we feel the shift. We felt the shift. That's why when we look at these old pictures and commercials and old TV shows, and we hear that nostalgic sound, tied to the old food that we ate, how things have just become so corrupt and so wicked. And this is just all in my head right now. I'm just sharing it with you guys, just like I did this other video, share with you all that when they bring over their God and they pocket off the back of your service to your God, which is the Most High God. Because whether people want to debate it or not, America is a Christian nation. Most people here are servants of the Most High God, and most people are actually Christ followers. And I told y'all before that God will spare the city for one righteous person. Here it is. They bring this wickedness over here, and it seemed like since it started, and I know they've been over here for a while, but I'm saying from the late 90s to the early 2000s, that's when the shift started to change and things actually feel different. That's why when we reflect on the old times, it feels so intangible, but we remember how it tasted, smelled, we remember how we felt, how calm it was. And what happens is when you bring other people over here and they get into your environment and they pocket off of your back financially, they pocket off the benefits that God, the Most High God, has blessed your community, your life. It weighs you down and it sucks you dry. And they have literally managed to rob and blind us right in our face, all while having us fight about race. They got black people, Mexican people, black and white people fighting against each other. This whole race debate, or this whole, oh, are you Dem or you Republican? All the while, these illegals are here, and even the ones that got over here legally because they got their visas quickly. Because I guess here in Texas, it's discovered that they were getting their visas approved so quickly, the 99% rate. But anyway, that's a side note. Listen to where I'm going here. They brought their behinds over here with that wickedness to worship their God, and everything here has gotten even worse. So they can turn around and say, oh, well, Americans, y'all are causing harm. Y'all are committing crimes. Let me tell you something. Evil communications can corrupt us. These people go to our schools. They go to our grocery stores. They are absolutely directly involved in everyday life that we have grown here ourselves, that we have built up ourselves. They're here to benefit off of it and to rob us blind. So all the while we're sitting here fighting one another, they're sitting back robbing the system, sending all this money back to Somali, all this money back to India, or wherever the heck they're sending this money to, driving nice cars, having food stamp cards, getting all these benefits off of our back, and also the blessing of our God. And that's why this is coming out. That's why this is coming to light. I believe that it's natural, but it's spiritual because they have come over here and they have literally corrupted us. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, but you can't say that. Yes, I can. Because when we went into other countries, other nations in the Old Testament, we had to destroy everything they had to do with their God. Even the trinkets and the symbols and the statues, we couldn't have naught to do with any of them. What makes you think that people can come over here, bring their God, bring their trinkets, bring their form of worship, which is really conjuring is what it is, and think that it's not going to affect your neighbor? You don't know what spirits they're releasing into our nation to make us literally turn against each other. And I'm not putting all the blame on them. I just need y'all to follow me for a second. It's very strange that all of the shift that we feel so differently in our hearts and our soul, where things have changed simultaneously, where you could go see a white comedian, he will drag the heck out of a black person, or you'll see a black comedian, he'll drag the heck out of a white person. We know each other well enough to know it's all jokes. It's funny. And the reason why stereotypes are funny because they're true. They just are. It's humorous. But it seemed like we got so much corruption here. And I really feel like that's why the Lord is allowing it to come to the surface. Because I'm furious that all of this money has been sent back to other countries that we worked hard for. Yet we turn around and suffer and then we fight one another. While they're just like, oh, y'all Americans, go ahead and fight. While we about to use the food stamp card and we about to keep getting the money from the clearing centers or whatever corruption they have built here in this country. It has corrupted our nation. I am sick of it and I am freaking frustrated right now.